Deshaun Watson is still the starter in Cleveland, but the clock isn't just ticking, it's exploding. If you think the quarterback drama in the land was over, you haven't seen the updated 2026 depth chart, because there is a massive storm brewing in the locker room that could change this franchise forever. We are looking at a roster that is absolutely loaded from top to bottom, but the tension at the most important position in sports is enough to tear the whole thing down before Week 1 even kicks off. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The 2026 NFL Draft is officially in the rearview mirror, and the Cleveland Browns roster is looking like a heavyweight contender, but it's the names at the top of the list that have everyone losing their minds. We are talking about a total overhaul in some rooms and a desperate last stand feel in others. The front office has been busy, the scouts have been grinding, and the result is a depth chart that is as deep as it is controversial. Are the Browns finally ready to stop being the league's almost team and actually take the crown? Let's get straight to the heart of the madness, the quarterback room. Right now, if you look at the official depth chart, Deshaun Watson is still holding on to that number 1 spot. But let's be real, is anyone actually comfortable with that? The reports coming out of training camp suggest the team is pushing the veteran experience, but right behind him is the man everyone is actually talking about, Shedeur Sanders. This isn't just a backup situation, this is a full-blown war for the future of the franchise. We've also got Talon Green and Dillon Gabriel in the mix, adding even more flavor to a room that is already boiling over. Personally, I think the era of flirting with Watson's potential needs to end. If the Browns want to win now, Sanders should be the guy leading the charge. He has the juice, he has the arm, and he has that it factor that we just haven't seen from the veteran in years. But wait until you hear how the coaching staff plans to juggle these two during the first month of the season. The strategy seems to be a wait-and-see approach. We might see Watson start the first few games just to let the veteran handle the initial pressure, and then, just like we saw last year, Sanders could come in and take over. But this time, with a full offseason under his belt and a roster this talented, he wouldn't just be a replacement, he'd be a superstar. The question is, how long is the leash for Watson? 1 bad half. 1 bad game. The pressure is insane. Who do you think should be the Week 1 starter? Is it the high-priced veteran or the young phenom? Drop a name in the comments right now. Moving over to the guys catching the passes, the wide receiver room is looking like a track team. We are looking at a brand new Big Three in Cleveland: Jerry Jeudy, Casey Concepcion, and Denzel Boston. This is a high-octane group that can stretch the field and win those contested catches. But the depth doesn't stop there. Isaiah Bond is a virtual lock to make this squad, providing that reliable hands-over-the-middle presence that every elite quarterback needs. When you look at the full list, there are 13 different receivers fighting for a handful of spots. It's a total disaster for the guys on the bubble, but a masterclass in roster building by the front office. You've got names like Cedric Tillman and Gage Larvadain, and of course, Malachi Corley. The team absolutely loved using Corley as a gadget player last year, running those end-arounds and screenplays that keep defensive coordinators awake at night. The Browns also added some veteran depth with Tylan Wallace and Isaiah Wooden. While these guys might be more focused on special teams, they are still technically in the mix for receiver reps, and don't sleep on Luke Floria. We saw some flashes of brilliance from him in last year's camp, and the hype is building again. Add in Jamari Thrash and a couple of undrafted free agents like Aaron Anderson from LSU and Cole Wilson from Baylor, and you have the most crowded room in the facility. With 13 guys fighting for maybe 6 or 7 spots, the preseason is going to be a bloodbath. Every single route and every single catch is going to determine someone's career. But if you think the receiver battle is intense, wait until you see the absolute wall the Browns have built to protect whoever wins that quarterback job. The offensive line has been a massive headache for Browns fans lately. Last year was a total disaster up front, with injuries and inconsistent play turning the pocket into a danger zone. But for 2026, the script has been completely flipped. Todd Monken has confirmed that Spencer Fano is the new left tackle, the cornerstone of the blind side. But the front office didn't stop there. They went on a spending spree in free agency and the trade market to ensure this never happens again. We are looking at Zion Johnson and Elton Jenkins coming in through free agency, 2 guys who bring instant Pro Bowl caliber talent to the interior. Then you have Titus Howard, who was brought in via trade, and Tevin Jenkins at right guard. On paper, this is one of the most expensive and talented lines in the NFL. However, there's a catch. Right now, the team doesn't have a locked-in starting center. They have young talent like Parker Brailsford and Luke Whippler, but they are currently sitting behind the veterans. There is a theory floating around that Brailsford, the rookie out of Alabama, could actually win the starting job on day one. If that happens, the domino effect would be incredible. You could move Elton Jenkins back to left guard, where he's already been an All-Pro, and slide Zion Johnson to right guard. That would create a literal Great Wall of Cleveland that would give any quarterback 10 seconds to throw. But if the rookies aren't ready, the depth chart might look a little more makeshift than fans would like. Behind the starters, you still have Zach Zinter, Austin Barber, and the massive DeJuan Jones. There are also some names on the fringe like K.A.T. Leviston and Jeremiah Byers, along with a few practice squad guys trying to beef up the room. The goal is clear: find the right formula so the quarterback doesn't end up on his back every third play. But while the big guys up front are the foundation, the guys in the backfield are the ones who are going to bring the house down. In the running back room, it's all about the Studkins show. Quinshon Judkins is back, he's healthy, and he's ready to prove why he's one of the most feared runners in the league. The Browns didn't make a huge splash for a veteran running back this year, which tells you everything you need to know about their confidence in the youth movement. Dylan Sampson is the clear number 2, providing a perfect change of pace, while Raheem Sanders sits at the third spot. The battle for the final roster spots at running back is going to be spicy. Amari Marshall had a great preseason last year but couldn't quite stick, he's back to fight for his life. But keep an eye on undrafted free agent Devin Booth. There is some serious buzz that Booth might have more juice than Marshall and could sneak onto the 53-man roster. And for the fans of old school, smashmouth football, Michael Burton is there at fullback. That's a classic move to bring some grit back to the Cleveland offense. The tight end room is also surprisingly deep. We all know Harold Fannin Jr. is the star, but the depth behind him is solid. You've got Blake Whiteheart, Brendan Bates, and Jack Stoll, who was brought in specifically for his elite blocking ability. The rookies Joe Royer and Carson Ryan are also in the mix, and in a modern NFL offense, you can never have enough athletic tight ends who can create mismatches. I expect the rookies to push the veterans hard here, as the team looks for more speed at the position. Now, let's talk about the real heart of this team, the defense. If the offense is a Ferrari, the defensive line is a tank. Myles Garrett and Alex Wright are the bookends, and having Malik Collins and Mason Graham in the middle is just unfair. This starting four is a nightmare for any offensive coordinator. But what's even crazier is the depth. The Browns grabbed Kalia Davis from San Francisco and added Aiden Huntington, a guy so versatile he's literally played fullback in special teams. The linebacker group is just as fast and just as mean. Bringing in Quincy Williams was a masterclass move. He's an all-pro talent with sideline-to-sideline speed. Pair him with Carson Schweissinger, the reigning defensive rookie of the year, and you have a duo that can cover anyone. Of course, JOK is still there, though he's starting on the PUP list. The competition for the third linebacker spot is wide open, with Winston Reed and rookie Justin Jefferson, the linebacker, not the receiver, fighting for reps. The secondary is where things get really interesting. In the safety room, Grant Delpit is the veteran leader, but the free safety spot is a total toss-up. Ronnie Hickman is the projected starter, but watch out for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. He was a massive value pick, and people inside the building think he could be a superstar. Over at cornerback, Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell are the lockdown kings, but the slot corner battle is a must-watch. Miles Harden is the name to beat, but D'Angelo Ross finished last season on a tear and could easily steal that job. Finally, we look at the specialists. Andre Schmidt has the kicking job locked down after a roller coaster rookie year where he proved he has ice in his veins. The punting situation is a bit more tense, with Corey Bojorquez facing some serious competition from a couple of young legs after a shaky 2025 campaign. It's all part of the no-nonsense culture the Browns are trying to build. This roster is arguably the best Cleveland has seen in decades. Every position is a fight, every practice is a war, and the talent level is through the roof. But it all comes back to that one big question: who is the man under center when the season is on the line? What do you think the Browns' final record will be with this squad? Is this an 11-win team or a Super Bowl favorite? Type your prediction in the comments below. I'll be back with more updates as the cuts start happening and the real 53-man roster takes shape. If you're a diehard fan of the orange and brown, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single second of the action. This is going to be a season for the history books.